straight.
Of course, it's absolutely brilliant racing at the moment.
Hi, we're back to Zwartkops for round 4 of the West Bank Super Series. And on this straight, drivers in the Bridgestone production cars will be battling for honours.
Coverage of round number 4 of the Bridgestone production cars at Zwartkops and a welcome return to racing of the John Cooper Works Mini.
For all your information on the West Bank Super Series, visit our website www.westbanksuperseries.co.za or follow our links to Twitter as well as Facebook and stay in the loop.
So tons of great racing on its way for you, but right now let's go to qualifying. Greg.
Very interesting stuff happening up in qualifying as Taylor tried to put her on pole position in the Aprox BMW. Sapuka was giving him a hard time of it in the Engine Extreme Audi. It was BMs and Audis at the front end, with Van der Linde going third, Michael Stephen pushing hard to get up into second and onto the front row, but no one could catch the Sassel Subaru in qualifying, and Henny G put it on pole.
So let's get confirmation of the starting grid right now for race number 1. Front row, Henny Groenewald and Michael Stephen.
Second row is Etienne van der Linde and Chop Sapuka, very much fired up.
On the next row, Anthony Taylor, BMW, and Richard Pinnett in the Subaru.
And we go to Darren Lobb making a welcome return to production cars ahead of Melville Priest.
And then Johan Ferree and Marcel Singh in the Pertec BMW.
It's clear to me you've been doing some development with a car and you found something. What is the magic spell?
Yeah, you know, in Bridgestone production cars, it seems like you have to work very hard. So really all credit to the guys. It's the first time we're standing up top or pole position this year. It's been a fight getting to those BMs and Audis, but the Sassel Subaru has been really superb this weekend. And it's just the effort from the team that's got us there. So I'm expecting a tough race because we saw Michael's time that he did yesterday afternoon. He matched it now and we expected him to go quicker. So just chatting to him afterwards, I think he's got a bit in hand possibly for the race. So we're expecting a tough one. But just at this stage, Sassel Racing is doing a great job.
The fastest of the Pertec BMW racing team at the moment, and delighted to be back in this type of racing, I'm sure.
Absolutely delighted. It was a big surprise to get a call from Donovan a couple of weeks ago, and let's just say a huge thanks to ADF Motorsport and Pertec as well for backing me for this drive and the rest of the season. I'm so excited. I haven't slept for a week just to be back in the car and be back racing again. It's been a long year so far, sitting on the sidelines watching everyone else race, and it's fantastic to be back in the racing circles and be back in a fantastic team and a fantastic race car.
Here we go for race 1. Yeah, fantastic stuff coming your way. And this is what it's all about. 8 laps of action. Are they all going to be able to catch that Sassel Subaru? He was very quick, almost half a second quicker than anybody else. But the two Subarus are going to be sandwiching the front end of the field as Pinnard also started to show some real pace here at Zwartkops. Going into turn 1, BMW Performance Corner. We're on board here with Anthony Taylor, looking for a way early on Chop Sapuka.
Yeah, the right-hander, you've got to get into roundabout first gear and really get on the money very, very hard out of there. But I've got to tell you, I'm looking at Subaru right now, and the team is very buoyant. They had a wonderful pre-round of round number 3, and they're looking strong. And, of course, Henny Groenewald on pole right now. It's an indication of just that.
Yeah, Michael Stevens just looking to consolidate points and stay at the front end of this battle and try and maintain and retain that number 1 plate. His teammate, Chop Sapuka, definitely, as I said, fired up after qualifying and looking to go ahead and catch this man, Etienne van der Linde, as they get on the brakes up into Sassel.
All right, up to top turn 5 they go, and, of course, 6 and 7 before they go all the way down the hill to turn number 8. I've got to tell you, my money is on Chop Sapuka to do fairly well. He looks motivated, and the team thinks the car is in really good nick.
Good start here from Melville Priest, too. He's just behind Chop Sapuka. It looks like Taylor's just having a little bit of problems of his own here in the BMW. Not quite on the pace as what he expected here at Zwartkops. Remember, they do a lot of testing here, do the Afrox BMW team, and it doesn't seem to be paying off for Taylor. His teammate, though, is in the thick of it and stuck in a Quattro sandwich. Here we go, on board with Chops as he tries his luck around the outside. And Renexcon corner is not an easy one to do that in, but you've got the Quattro system working. And of course, look at how hard he's pushing on the back end of Van der Linde.
Yeah, Van der Linde has been menacing all season. Those BMWs had a really good first and second round. Zwartkops, they've been here before, debuted really well. Cape Town was a really good result for Anthony and Van der Linde, but they've been in the points all the time. But it's about consistency, and that's what they need, where the Subarus and the Audis have been dominant.
Look at how Henny Groenewald is pulling away at the front end, though. No one seemed to be able to catch him. Here comes a move from Chops. He goes on the inside, but Van der Linde saw him coming. Shut the door. Watch for the late apex here. He's going to try and get the drive now. Four-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive. Here they go down the main straight. He looks in the rearview mirror. He's under a bit of pressure coming from behind there, and that, of course, is Melville Priest. So the two Audis now, they have been caught up behind Van der Linde, who seems to have slowed them down a bit, and Michael Steven and the Subaru have got away at the front.
All right, so Melville Priest bringing a bit of pressure to bear on Chopsapurka. No doubt he'll know that he's there, and it's long overdue for Melville Priest. They're playing catch-up in terms of the development stakes with the Audis. Johan Fourie had his development, so has Chopsapurka and Michael Steven, both great engineers in their own right. But Melville needs to really start now putting the hammer down and picking up some points, having a good day so far.
All of a sudden, Taylor seems to have sorted out whatever problem he had. Then you've got Pinard just behind him, and what a start, and welcome return there for Dazzler Lob. He is up there and right behind the second of Subarus. We're on board again with Taylor, and he's closed right up onto the tailpiece of that third. Oh, Van der Linde with a problem there. He got sideways coming out of Sassel corner, and he's lost one position. Chopsapurka's made up one. Looks like Taylor's going to try and go around the outside of Priest.
Melville Priest is still in the mix, but you don't want to do it on the outside. So here we go. No change in the leadership right now. Henny Groenewald and Team Sassel Subaru will be on the wall and ecstatic at the moment, the way things are unfolding here at Zwartkops. Great turnout from the crowd as well, as always. Chopsapurka looking menacing as well. Taylor and Van der Linde doing a sterling job right now. Team principal Donovan van Heerden will be pretty happy the way things are going right now in this early stage.
Well, considering the fact that they've got a massive amount of people here from BMW, from Afrox, from Mini, it's all, of course, the Mini John Cooper Works race day here, round 4 of Westbank Super Series. And look at how these BMs are. Oh, man, they are really having trouble here from the Quattro system and the Audis. And Melville Priest, he's the meat in the sandwich right now. Taylor might just change it up, though. He goes on the inside into Castrol Edge and just not able to make it stick.
I've got to laugh at Taylor's sportsmanship. He'll do that sometimes, you know. He'll try and create a scare with the driver in front of him. But right now, dominant. Henny Groenewald and Team Subaru will be over the moon with this, and I think he could take it to the flag.
Yeah, down to Goldwagen Challenge corner for the final time. It's only 0.7 of a second behind him is the Audi of Michael Steven. So consistency from Michael Steven, but another victory there for the Sassel Subaru. Will be very happy with that performance. And this car seems to be in very dominant mood today.
So let's have a confirmation of those results for round number 4, the first race. Henny Groenewald, Michael Steven, Chopsapurka, Eddie and Van der Linde in the BMW, and Melville Priest.
6th place, a fantastic drive there from Anthony Taylor to stay with those top 4. And then, of course, Richard Pinard behind him, Johan Fourie coming through the field, and Darren Lobb.
6 cars inverted. This is going to be an absolute epic cracker.
Yeah, rolling start also being decided there by the pole man. And here we go, down towards turn number 1. It's BMW Performance Corner, and it's a BMW on pole. Alongside him, though, is a really, really hungry man, Melville Priest in the Öhlins and Mueller Motorsport Audi.
But this is the danger for the rest of the field at the moment, Greg, because we've seen often how Anthony Taylor will get an inverted grid, end up on pole position, will go flag for flag. This does not bode well for the rest of the team, but if they can make that back, the rear-wheel drive work for him right now, and under pressure already for Melville Priest.
Check it, Chopsapurka drive around the outside of Etienne van der Linde. He tried that all of race number 1 and was only able to do it with about 2 laps to go. This time he's not holding back. He did it in the first 2 corners. So Chopsapurka, as we said, here he comes through the field and looking very dangerous. But Etienne van der Linde has got some serious pace on his BMW, and so has Groenewald as he goes on the inside of Castrol Edge. It's a Sassel versus Afrox BMW here, and the Subaru seems to have won out as they get on the brakes for Sassel corner.
Yeah, one of the hardest braking zones at this track as well. Really have to get on them hard. And right now, leading out, Anthony Taylor, BMW. Donovan and the team will be happy at the moment. Right now, under pressure. And here comes Groenewald. I'll tell you what, 6 cars inverted. Can he turn this into 2 from 2?
Well, Pinard pulls into pit lane, so there's a problem for his teammate, but there's no problem on that number 8 Subaru. That is for sure. The only problem he's got right now is Chopsapurka, and he's going to make mincemeat of him as he goes into BMW Performance Corner. You've got an Audi going on the inside of the BMW. BMW. Taylor gets forced wide onto the dirt, and the Subaru's got through in the background. So 2 overtaking maneuvers in 1 corner.
You know how impressive that is from Taylor, because he stuck with it. He knew he was on the outside, but he knew he would get there. Oh, well, look at this. I mean, oh, look at the drive of that BMW. He proved me wrong, because I didn't think he could actually come back around the outside. And then Taylor just stuck it the hammer down and really just pulled past Melville. Has Melville got a problem here?
Yeah, I think Marvel might have missed a gear there, because he definitely shouldn't have got away that quickly. I mean, we know how good that Quattro is, and he wasn't able to put it to use at all as they came out of turn 2. They went through speed and sound sweep onto the back straight, and you can see just how hard he had to get away. Now he goes defensive, and still Melville Priest hangs on, but oh, hello, Michael Stevens sneaking through. Where did he come from? Chops, you got to keep your eye on those rearview mirrors, buddy.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen Melville go backwards.
No, definitely not. We've seen him in on a really good position to go backwards immediately. Here comes another move there, and it's the Engine Extreme Audi. Wow, Michael Stephen is not holding anything back here today.
Sure.
I thought he was going to be Mr. Consistency, Mr. Consolidation, but more, it's Mr. Aggressive. There is no holding back here, and the reason for that is you can see Henny Groenewald has already taken a victory today, and he's going for another one. He is on the front end of the field, and there's a move, and Stevens on the inside of Priest. Side by side, the 2 Quattros, and Michael Stephen wins out. A little tap to say, that wasn't nice, but yeah, you've got through, so here we go again.
Line of stern, 3 massively outright, beautiful, turned out supercharged S4s, back-to-back. And looking for back-to-back wins is Henny Groenewald on a charge, Greg.
Yeah, he comes down into an excellent corner, turn 2 here. It's the 3 S4s behind him, but he's looking to find a way past Anthony Taylor. And when Taylor's in this kind of mood, as you said earlier on, Steve, if he gets out front and a little bit of strategy from the BMW team to put him on pole for race 2, he's not going to make it easy for Henny G. But we've seen how quick Henny Groenewald has been around here today, and that Sassel Subaru, well, it is absolutely flying.
I was talking to Anthony Taylor this morning, and of course they realized how strong Subaru was, but then saying that, Henny thought that Anthony Taylor was saving something. Oh, look at this, what a great move. Henny on the inside of Taylor had no answer to that whatsoever.
Now, Taylor got a little bit out of shape coming through Castrol Edge corner, so that's what's cost him. But he now goes on the hunt again for Henny Groenewald. Look at how Groenewald pulls away, though. This is the pace of that Subaru around Execuline corner and down towards Goldwagen Challenge. Onto the braking markers. Now Michael Stephen. He's got a problem. He's got to get past Taylor. He cannot afford to give any more points away to that man that leads out up to Sassel.
Well, coming into this round number 4, he was 2 points behind. And, of course, as a reigning champion of last year, you need to do something and stay in the hunt. Right now, Henny Groenewald is showing how powerful and how good that Subaru is at the moment. 10 points in the first one. This could be 2 from 2.
Yeah, coming down to take the checkered flag. It is going to be 2 out of 2. Looking for Michael Stephen, though. He goes on the inside. Taylor is too far ahead. He's not going to be able to make that one stick. But across the line, the Henny the flag puts out the checkered flag, and it's Henny G that takes that one away. Second time out and 2 checkered flags for the day. Groenewald's going to be happy.
All right, let's get confirmation of those results. A good drive by Taylor, by the way. Henny Groenewald gets 2 from 2. Anthony Taylor in second. Michael Stephen, Melville Priest, and Chop Sapuka in the mix.
6th place going to Etienne van der Linde, and the second of the BMWs, Darren Lobb. Much better in 7th, Michelle Singh. Patamba and Pinard, unfortunately, with the DNF.
That was hard work for you out there.
Yeah, it was very hard, especially the second race. We don't quite have the pace of the 4-wheel drives around here, but I knew that I was going to have my hands full once the Subaru and the Audi got through the field. Unfortunately, I made a mistake coming off turn 4, which allowed Henny to put his nose in on the inside, and there's just nothing much after that I could do. But yeah, nevertheless, it was a good result. At least the BMWs are still up there and try and collect as many points as possible. I think Henny got the fastest lap of the race also, which will give him pole for the third heat. I don't quite know where I am, but we'll make the most of it.
So after strong first and second rounds for BMW, they look like they're improving. Michael Stephen now losing more ground on Henny, and why wouldn't Team Sassel Subaru be over the moon? 2 for 2 on the day. Was there more to come? Marcel Singh in the Pertec BMW, Wally Pumpas and Dick Sorensen hatching plans. Moss with Sapuka offloading some tips. Debut boy Lobb just happy to be racing. Etienne van der Linde from Team Afrox BMW has looked menacing all season. A quick look at the production car brigade as we start getting nearer to the all-important race number 3. Priest needs points. A nice gesture from Groenewald and Stephen. It's Subaru versus Audi. Pinard plugged into U2. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. The big, bad Audi S4. So this is it. 14 laps as Class A will tear up Zwartkops and deliver its promise of world-class racing. Don't go anywhere. This will be epic. But first. Let's go one-on-one with Melville Priest.
Hi, my name is Melville Priest. I'm from Team VMP Audi. To give you a rundown of our season so far, it's been a bit of a battle, uphill battle for us. We built a new car. We started in December, built a new car. We had a reasonable Zwartkops. The car was quite competitive, but then we suffered from some power steering problems. But we managed to score points. Again, in Cape Town, we had another problem. It was raining the first session, and I had a slight problem, and we went into the wall. But again, we scored points. Coming into Zwartkops, we've been testing a fair amount. We've done 3 big tests here so far, and it's been going fairly well. We feel that we're on the pace. You're not looking for a second. You're always looking for 2 or 3 tenths. If you're 2 tenths off, you could be as far back as 5th. So, in terms of our rivals in production cars, a big part of the reason why we're here is because we feel as a team that it's the best competition in the country right now. There's multiple champions. In the top, there's about 6 multiple champions. So if you had to pick a few, Michael Stephen, current reigning champion, he's very consistent. He's always going to be in the top 3, and if you hunt Ferrari, he's always competitive and quick and fast. He's quite aggressive, so that makes it quite fun. If he's behind you, you probably have a dive at you at some stage. So in terms of BMW, Anthony Taylor is a multiple champion. So it's always fun to race guys that have been around a long time, are consistent and fast. Obviously, it makes it fun. Sponsorship's always a tough thing in the current environment, but we're lucky enough to have great sponsorship from Mueller SA. It's a top SA brand. It's been in the country for about 2 years now, and they're making impact. Other sponsors, Olin's is dampers that we've ran even in 2005 in our original Audi. Olin South Africa again have supported us quite strongly, and it's great that we've got guys like Mueller and Olin's to support us. After the slow start we've had to the year so far, three average races, we're a couple of points behind the leaders. So we've got some places to make up, some points to make, so probably a little more aggressive driving than I'd naturally drive in the coming races. But there's only 6 events left of the year, so got to hit them hard, got to get maximum points to make up the difference. This is world-class racing. This is Bridgestone production cars.
Continuing the dominance here is going to be the Sassel Subaru of Henny Groenewald. He's going to be a tough man to beat, considering the fact that he's taken 2 victories already today and is on pole position for race 3.
Yeah, Greg, he set the fastest time in both of those, so really dominant display so far for Team Sassel Subaru. The guys just getting their thoughts together. This is going to be epic, and our theme piece for the Bridgestone Production Car Championship, round number 4 at Zwartkops. Can't wait for it to start.
All-wheel drive, quattro and rear-wheel drive lined up and ready to rock and roll now. These guys are going to go all out for 14 laps. Some of the best action you're going to see anywhere in the world about to happen here at Zwartkops at the Mini John Cooper Works race day.
Most racetracks around this time of the day, the sunset will come into play. Very difficult also in this one. The sun just blinds you, sometimes going into the most important corners like this one.
Yeah, turn 1 and 14 laps coming your way, and already some rubbing is racing happening between Priest and Van der Linde. A little touch between the two of them. It's the Subaru out front now, and that's a big concern for everybody behind him, because no one has been able to match Henny Groenewald's pace today.
Impressive, though. Anthony Taylor still in the mix. They don't have the best car at the moment, and by his admission, but he really is hanging in there. Just pays testament to his driving skill.
Michael Stevens' teammate Chop Sapuka from Michael Steven. You can see him going around the outside there of Melville Priest and making it stick into 4th place. Melville Priest coming under pressure. Is that Darren Lobb? It is. Dazzler is giving these boys a good run in the old Pertec BMW, and he's actually just ahead there of Van der Linde. So the lead BM, of course, is Taylor. Second BM on the road is now Darren Lobb, and his teammate is also going up the inside. Brilliant bit of driving there, and Singh sneaks through too.
Yeah, he's ecstatic to be here. He was like a little kid in a candy shop, you know. Oh, my goodness, I'm back driving again. Fantastic. Nice to have him in this series.
Etienne van der Linde also falling by the wayside here as the second of the Sassel Subarus gets past him. So big problems there for the second of the Afrox BMWs. No problems at the moment other than the fact that he's almost side by side with Stephen for Taylor's car as they go into BMW Performance Parts turn 1 here at Zwartkops. Heading down. Whoa, Taylor runs wide again through there. We saw him get a bit out of shape in the first race and in the second race. So there's a little bit of concern about the handling of that car, I'm sure, in Donovan van Heerden's team. But right now, he's under massive pressure as both of those Engine Extreme Audi S4s are on his tail.
Yeah, I saw Terry Moss having a big chat to Chop Sapuka earlier on in the day and, you know, just trying out some different strategies right now. We know the car's very, very strong and very good, and both Michael sets these cars up. But at the moment, the concern for the team is that Henning Groenewald, 2 from 2, is pulling away in the point standing.
Look out for Johan Ferree as well. Had a bit of a dismal day in the office, unfortunately, in the EPS-sponsored car. He's really had to get to grips with it early on and didn't have the pace that he had last time we were here at Zwartkops and down in Cape Town. So that's the big concern for Fury. He is definitely going to be wanting to be a little bit higher up by the time we get to Durban for the street race.
Have you seen him in the pits? He looks so angry.
Yeah, not a happy man at the moment, but we know that he will come back fighting and fighting hard, just like this man's doing right now, to try and close up on Anthony Taylor's BMW. He needs to get past him, but he's not going to push too hard, because remember, there's a lot more laps in this one than we saw in the 2 sprint races.
Yes, there are 14 to be exact, and right now, and it is Henning Groenewald on the pace and large and in charge, as I like to say. But Anthony Taylor doing a sterling job. I reckon that before this end of this race, Michael Stephen will certainly be in the mix. If he allows Henning Groenewald to pull too far ahead, it could spell problems for Taylor.
Novel Priest now starting to pull away from that BMW. The 2 Pertec cars are still in front and looking really good. Darren Lobb, the 99 machine now, and he is stuck in behind his teammate, but ahead of the Sassel Subaru team car there of Pinard. Pinard comes on the inside, has a look, but can't quite make it stick as they go into Sassel, and that's where he wants to do the overtaking. Do it at your sponsor's corner. Van der Linde now. Massive pressure coming from Ferree. Ferree might sneak up the inside here and have a look. We'll have to wait and see as they come into our shot. Oh, they are side by side. They are touching. They're rubbing. And Ferree's going to be on the outside where they come down to Goldwagen.
Pertec BMW and Darren Lobb looking a little bit more competitive at this stage of the game and leading out from the 2 other Pertec BMWs. Pit Amber in that camp as well, but a nicely turned out car and also part of the ADF Motorsport as well. So that's a big BMW team.
Yeah, they're looking good out there. There's no doubt about it, and putting on a fantastic show. Here we go, and here's a move. Just look, Michael Stephen got better drive coming out as Ferree's gone off at Goldwagen Challenge corner. Oh, that's a big pity there for the EPS Audi. He's not going to be happy about that. I thought that Michael Stephen might have got better drive than Taylor. He didn't seem to. They are pretty much as they've been since the race start, and no moves just yet or a foot from Michael Stephen. His cards are close to his chest.
Did you actually see that? Because I felt it looked like he'd lost his power steering there for a second. I'm not quite sure, but it's bad news and in any event for Johan Ferree.
Michelle Singh, first of the Pertecs, then we've got the second one, that is Darren Lobb, then it's the second of the Sassel Subarus, and Pinard unfortunately not having to make any maneuvers around those 2 335s.
9 of 14 as we go, and still Taylor is in there, and the pressure will be brought to bear by Michael Stephen, there's no doubt about it. But I'll tell you what, my drive of the day so far hasn't been in the, the first or second place, but I'll tell you what, Chop Sapuka is really driving a great race.
He did say that he was eager to impress, and here we go on the inside. Michael Stephen might have a look. Oh, a little tap between the 2 of them. He's going to force his way through.
No.
Taylor gets sideways.
No.
Oh, that is awesome stuff. Taylor having to catch that BMW. He did a great job to do it. Sapuka snuck through as his teammate Michael Stephen just gave a little bit more pressure than what was expected on Anthony Taylor.
Yeah, I think there might be a bit of scrutiny on that one as well. I mean, you've got to be on the racetrack to overtake. You can't get off the racetrack and overtake, surely.
Well, we'll have to wait and see if that's going to give him any problems. But right now, he has got to second place where he needs to be, because this is where he wants to be. With his teammate behind playing a sort of tail gunner role here and keeping Taylor at bay, it's going to be very important for Michael Stephen to see if he can do anything about the pace of Henning Groenewald's Subaru.
Did you see that? He gave Sapuka a little tap there going, hey, what do you think you're doing?
Yeah, where did you come from? You can't just use your teammate to get past me, but that's exactly how it works in this game. If you've got a teammate, you can use it, and that's exactly what Sapuka and Stephen are doing. They've got ahead of Taylor. Taylor's a bit concerned because look in the background. Every now and again, you just see those LED lights coming through, and that's the 3rd of those Audis, and of course, Melville Priest behind the wheel of that one.
Yeah, you're talking about teammates and using them. BMW have got a squad
squadron out there.
They have. Unfortunately, they're not there with Taylor. They're a little bit off the pace and battling with their own little in-house maneuvers. That's with the Pertek boys anyway, because they're trying to close onto the back end of Etienne van der Linde, the second of the Afrox boys, and they've done that. They're right there, but it is Michelle Singh who leads the battle, and right behind him, Darren Lobb. As I said, first time out in this particular car, and a welcome return back to production cars. Let's see if he's able to do anything about his teammate to find one more position up on that final results sheet.
Yeah, we know you can drive as well, there's no doubt about that. So, a nice outing for BMW. And Anthony Taylor on board at the moment with the new F30. Made its debut in Cape Town, and of course it was the same race meet as the launch of BMW on that day. But right now, Mr. Domineering, and you might call this the perfect storm for Team Sassel Subaru, Greg.
You can't get better than that. It's pole position and 3 race victories, and that's exactly what Henny Groenewald wanted to leave this circuit with. It's going to extend his lead in the championship, but more importantly, Michael Stephen wasn't too far off. He was right behind him in second place, Chop Sepulka in third, and Anthony Taylor beating out Melville Priest.
So with double the points counting, let's have a look who finished 6th. It was Etienne van der Linde, BMW, Marcel Singh, Darren Lobb, Humphrey, and Kishore Pitara.
Henny Groenewald, a clean sweep, 2 in the sprint races, and the theme piece, 40 points today, outstanding.
Yeah, just a brilliant day for us, you know. We couldn't ask for any better in terms of points. And yeah, just chuffed. I think that race specifically it played into my hands with a start where Michael and Anthony went through turn 1 together, and it gave me the gap that I needed. And then, you know, they were doing good times considering it was a defensive lap, every lap almost from Anthony. So it looked like an interesting tussle at the back there. And I think no problems on my side except for the last lap where brakes started going. And yeah, it's at the point where Michael was past and actually starting to catch Anthony. So, but yeah, just happy all around, you know, that we can, you know, reward Sassel and Subaru for being behind us and waiting for this result.
Heading down to a circuit that no one has driven yet, it's Henny Groenewald with a more comfortable margin over Michael Stephen than the 2 points he had coming to Zwartkops. Taylor and van der Linde closing down. The next round of the West Bank Super Series heads down to Durban on the 15th, 16th and 17th of June. It's the Durban Street Race, part of the Top Gear Festival. We get Bridgestone Production Cars, NGen Volkswagen Cup and the South African Single-Seaters. After the break, it's Class T.
Continuing with coverage from round 4 of the Bridgestone Production Car Championship. Here's Class T qualifying. Greg.
As we saw in Class A, Class T qualifying vitally important. And a big resurgence here from the OPC Williams Hunt Opel Astra. But Jacques Joubert was slightly quicker than him. And Gary Famato, well, after a dismal round down in PE, had lots to do here at Zwartkops. Couldn't catch Bonafide, and no one could catch Graham Nathan.
So qualifying front row, Nathan, Gennaro Bonafide.
Then we got Gary Famato ahead of Jacques Joubert.
On the next row, Michael van Rooyen and the OPC Opel. And then Sean Duminy.
Lee Thompson and Gavin Cronier debuting the minis and on the 4th row.
And then backing up is Ephraim Levy in the GTI.
Well, with success brings a certain amount of scrutiny. I've noticed the car is being inspected, so to speak. Can you talk us through that?
Yeah, the car is allowed to, according to the Bridgestone production car rules, the car is allowed to be inspected in all aspects, except for that they want to take my car away, and they're not allowed to do that. They're allowed to have a look at the data. But once again, the Indy Oil Golf did the work. The Sintra oil that we're running in it, formulated properly for this Volkswagen brand, and it's doing a great job.
It's been a long time coming for the John Cooper Works Mini, a long time. How is the car going?
Look, basically, we're going to use this weekend as a test session. Like you said, the cars arrived late, and we had very little time to upgrade it to the spec of production cars. A few little teething things that we had, some overheating issues and clutch issues, but that's sorted out. But the car's got potential, so we'll definitely be there and thereabout at the next race. But like I said, this weekend it's just purely testing.
Well, with Graham Nathan nearly a second quicker than anybody else out there, but the rest of the field split by only a second, it's going to be very interesting to see whether anybody can catch the pace of that Indy Oil GTI. On the inside here with Gennaro Bonafide into turn 1. Formato closes right behind him, but slots into third.
You're saying, can anybody catch it? I mean, a second per lap is a big amount of time.
Around the outside, Verotto versus Indy Oil. The ST Focus sitting comfortably in third. Right on his tail is the GTI 5 of Jacques Joubert. He's trying hard, but look at how Gennaro's already putting pressure onto Nathan. Oh, you don't get a better shot than that. Thanks, Gary Formato, for this great action coming down towards Castle Edge. And will Gennaro go around the outside into Castle Edge corner? No, Nathan was late on the brakes and just kept it up the inside. No answer from Bonafide, and a little wing mirror touch between the two of them.
Yeah, they go through there pretty quickly, and of course, I mean, it's obvious that you're going to drift to the outside, but up to the hill and on to turn number 5, and Nathan got a better line here. Great onboard shots, as you say, from Formato, courtesy of Formato. Bonafide in the mix here. Oh, look at that. Jacques Joubert gets a little bit on the dirt at the moment, and it's still Sean Duminy in the mix in the mid-table of that pack.
Gennaro Bonafide now under pressure, and it's actually cost him a little bit of time as Jacques Joubert tries to make it Indy Oils 1 and 2. Coming down toward Goldwagen, he's not close enough. Neither is Formato, but Formato's under problems. Look at that. Joubert goes on the inside, uses a little bit more of the track than what he should. Gennaro gets away. Oh, a little touch between Formato and Jacques Joubert down the straight. That could have ended up in some big tears.
Oh.
And then some problems of their own just behind with Duminy and Van Rooyen in the Williams Hunt Opel. Oh, they are side by side. We're on board with him. And this is Duminy's view of the overtaking maneuver that the Williams Hunt just did. And the Mini just punts up the inside. Lee Thompson coming through an ex-con corner. He slots through, gets past Duminy, but unfortunately just too late on the brakes and goes into the side of Michael Van Rooyen.
So the Minis for the first time making their presence felt on a day that they've said that it's about development. Now, back to the leaders. Now, Graham Nathan coming into this championship and round number 4, leading over Formato. Nathan on 80, Formato 69, Duminy 51, already by virtue of the fastest lap in qualifying, another couple of points. Nathan's on a charge.
Up onto the braking markers, and watch out for those Minis. It is the Mini John Cooper Works race day, round 4 of Westbank Super Series, and it's great to have those two Minis back in racing. We saw, of course, Devon Robertson in one earlier on in the season, but he's now concentrating on getting that Renault all sorted out and probably going to be debuting that at Pakisa. But check in the background, those two Minis are not too far off the pace of the usual contenders, I can tell you.
Well, if you remember, going back to that, it was the first time we saw the Mini, the Big Boss Auto Mini, and on that day, he got a podium.
Yes, he did, and these two are looking hungry to get podiums on their sponsored race day, Duminy and Van Rooyen. Deja vu of the last time they came through here. Although this time, it's Duminy that wins out and gets on the brakes and onto the right-hand side of the circuit. Ooh, a little touch there between the two of them, but unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about that because this is how close this racing is. You don't get closer than that, and come on, Michael Van Rooyen, get up the inside there. He's trying so hard.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, they've had so much bad luck. I mean, we keep talking about it. I mean, when's it going to change for him and the team? We know he can drive. We know that car's good, but it just has not been happening for them this season.
The Rustenburg rocket all over the back end of the second of those Castrol Ford STs. And look at how hard he's going up onto the braking markers. Here comes Cronier. Cronier has a look on Thompson. So the in-house mini battle is also going to be sorted out here by the time the checkered flag comes out. And that's in one corner and one lap's time.
All right, 7 of 8 and Bonafide looking good in the Ferrota Golf 6 at the moment. You have to ask yourself the question. I mean, Nathan's driving a Golf 6, Bonafide's in a Golf 6, but yet the disparity between the two is like, wow, it's just huge.
It's preparation of the cars. Unfortunately, there's two different preparers of those cars, and it looks like Nathan's winning out that battle right now as Bonafide has to just settle for second place. He's beating out Formato. The other fact that you've got to take into account, you know, of course, is this is the most standard Class T car out there. Nathan running standard brakes. He's got a standard ECU with just a little uni chip added to it, which means that if this car of Bonafide's is probably a little bit more powerful than his, and that means that Nathan is just out driving the entire Class T field.
Well, they're all scratching their heads at the moment, but you know they can't believe that he's that good, and they're not that good. So, you know, where does it stop? I mean, it doesn't stop. Nathan is just brilliant.
Yeah, he really is good, and you can see just how hard he had to push at the front end. He got a little bit of problems right at the early stages of race 1. It looks like the mini battle is going to be won out by Thompson. But the Castrol Mini Coopers are back, and that's just so good to see. Michael Van Rooyen has beaten them out, though, in the Williams Hunt OPC, and the checkered flag comes out, and it is going to be Graham Nathan, who takes race 1 victory. And, well, like we saw with Henny Grunewald, has anybody got anything to catch him here in Class T?
So, confirming the results of race 1, Graham Nathan, Gennaro Bonafide, Gary Formato, Jacques Joubert, and Sean Duminy in the mix.
A good drive and a much better outing at Zwartkops for Michael Van Rooyen this time out. Lee Thompson wins out the mini battle. Cronier and Levy 8 and 9.
The man who finished in second place and looked really strong. I felt like you were chasing him down big time, Gennaro.
No, sure, the car felt great, and the first couple laps we were all dicing very hard, and then Graham just got a gap. Unfortunately, I was held out wide then turn 4, and then from there on, we were pushing, and then I realized the gap was too different between myself and Graham to catch, and Gary was a safe gap, so solid second for the team.
6 cars inverted for race number 2 now, and it's a rolling start. So look out for Michael van Rooyen on pole position. Alongside him will be Germany. But wait for Formato, Gennaro Bonafide, and Nathan to come through the field.
6 cars, it's not easy. It's easier with 4 cars, but 6, well, it's pot life. But the good news is for Michael van Rooyen, and he desperately needs the points and needs to get his championship started again. He'll be happy to be on pole, but it's not going to stop the other cars coming at him hard and fast.
Look at that, Lee Thompson putting Nathan under pressure as they go into turn 2, Renexcon corner. Coming out of that now through the speed and sound sweep. It's ST focuses side by side, and Germany might just give a little bit away here and allow Formato just to sneak through. Or is he going to do that? No, he's not. Formato has to work hard on the brakes up into Castle Edge, and he sneaks ahead up into second place. Gennaro Bonafide sees that and says, I've got to get going. I've got to get past Germany and try and close down on Formato.
What do you mean work hard? He gave it to Formato.
Well, I don't know about that. He had to work a little bit harder than what he'd like to. And here comes a bit of work coming from behind, too, as Graham Nathan gives a little bit of rubbing his racing to Gennaro Bonafide. He's side by side with his stablemate, the Indy Oil GTI 5 and GTI 6, go out of Kenwood corner and into Execuline, almost line astern, onto the back end of Bonafide. And here we go. Watch out for Nathan trying to get through.
One of the other interesting aspects of this Class T racing, and quietly going about his business and not really making a fuss, has been Jacques Joubert, who I think has been, as a rookie, having a great drive this season.
He certainly is getting to grips with this particular racing, and the front end of it anyway, that is for sure. Onto the braking markers, down into 2 again, and it's Williams Hunt Opel OPC out in front, pushing hard and trying to get away. Remember, they're celebrating 109 years of business in South Africa, and you don't celebrate it much more than having a car in the front end of a Class T field.
So on their way down to Castrol Edge corner, and still leading out Michael van Rooyen. They'll be pleased about this at the moment, but you always know that the Fords are going to come a-charging. And then I've got another interesting point I want to talk about Nathan's car very shortly, and it's about what we were speaking about earlier on in terms of how basic that car is.
Yeah, very standard motor car there compared to the other cars that are out on track, as we've heard. But right now, it is a battle royal between the 2 GTI 6s. And Bonafide's not going to make it easy for him. He knows that once Nathan gets ahead, he's got the ability to pull away. And, of course, that's what Bonafide wants to stop from happening. He is going defensive at every single opportunity and not going to make it easy for the slightly elder of the 2 to get through. But the young student has definitely got what it takes, and he can rub it with the best of them at the front end of Class T.
Well, this is probably a good time as any to actually discuss that. And if you remember, casting our minds back when we've seen Nathan's car traveling around and we've seen those hazard lights go on, we've always suspected that it could have been in limp mode or whatever. We've been told that that is just the basic standard procedure on that GTI Gold 6, and it's the hazard lights comes on when he gets hard on the ABS brakes. They automatically come on. It's a standard feature with all GTI 6s.
Yeah, they can't turn it off, so when the hazard lights come on, it doesn't mean that he's a dangerous man, although it is pretty dangerous when he's on the brakes. Here we go, halfway mark, and it's still the OPC Williams Hunt sponsored car out front. Formato hasn't found a way past Van Rooyen just yet, and he must be kicking himself, thinking to himself, how am I going to get past this Opel? Because I have to. I need to try and make up some points after having a little bit of a dismal round down in PE.
Well, let's have a look what's happened so far as we're into round number 4. Nathan came in 80 points, Formato 69, Duminy 51.
Formato had a big look going into Castle Edge, couldn't quite make it stick there. But he's put the pressure on, and you can see the pressure definitely being felt there by the Williams Hunt OPC as they head up towards Sassel Corner. Michael van Rooyen got a little bit out of shape there and a little bit squirrely for my liking, but he's managed to keep it on the black stuff only just. But there's a move. Formato might have snuck through. No, he just has the door firmly shut in his face at the Zot Club. Now into Kenwood. Here comes the Indy Oil GTI around the outside. Can he keep this inside line for Execuline? Yes, he can. Uses the inside of that corner and gets past Sean Germany. He's up to 3rd.
Down to Goldwagen corner on a leader, still stretching it a little bit, but he's under pressure from that Ford STI Focus. And I'll tell you what, Formato wants in, and he wants the lead.
Now that Formato's gone across the line and looked in the rearview mirror and seen the orange Indy Oil GTI 6 of Nathan, he will have to push even harder now to get past Van Rooyen. He wants to put a buffer between himself and, of course, the charging Graham Nathan. On the braking markers into the Sassel, this is where it might happen. They are side by side. Famato's got the inside line for Kenwood corner, and he's got it. He's put himself ahead of the OPC, and the Williams Hunt man, Michael Van Rooyen, has got to try and find another answer to get ahead of that Ford.
I think Michael made a slight little mistake. They went really a bit too wide as for his liking. I'll tell you what, you don't need to offer Famato another chance. He's in like Flynn.
Let's see if we can get ahead now and away from the Williams Hunt machines. Now they come across the line. Graham Nathan has now got his sights set on Michael Van Rooyen's car. You can see a little bit of body rub and some bumper damage on that car. That was from race number 1. Now onto the braking markers for the next con. You can see there's been lots of action down here. There's just rubble and dirt all over the circuit. It's going to make those Bridgestone tyres work a little bit harder than what they would like to, especially at this point of a race.
If I ask you a question, Greg, does it look like Nathan is flying? Would you say yes?
100%. Look at how he's pulled onto the back end of this Opel and putting pressure onto Van Rooyen.
Looking at the lap times right now, Nathan started our fastest lap in race 1. He's done it again just now. Fastest lap in race 2 so far.
And gets up to second place with that fastest lap. So just in the nick of time with 1 lap to go. Can he catch the Ford Focus? Not if he gets rubbed by Michael Van Rooyen like that. Van Rooyen and Nathan, that is how we do things going into turn 1. It's Volkswagen, Ford and Opel at the front end of Class T.
What do you expect Michael Van Rooyen to do? Throw a toy?
Oh, something like that, hey? Give us a bone or something. Anyway, into turn 2 for the final time in anger. Now they go through the speed and sound sweep. And it's going to need some serious speed to catch that ST. I don't think it's going to be enough time. He needed 1 or 2 more laps for the ability to catch Famato. Famato timed it perfectly. He's going to take race 2's victory here.
Indeed he will, and good points on the board for him as well. He'll be quite happy about that, although he'll feel a bit lucky. And he knew Nathan, coming from where he did, was charging all over him. Great race win. There's confirmation. Gary Famato and the other Ford Focus, Germany, in 4th.
Castle Ford Focus taking the victory there with Gary Famato behind the wheel. Graham Nathan in the Indy Oil GTI finishing up in 2nd place. Michael Van Rooyen's Williams Hunt Opel in 3rd. Sean Germany and Gennaro Bonafide 4 and 5.
In 6th position, let's have a look at Jacques Joubert in the other Indy Oil Golf 5, Lee Thompson, Gavin Cronier and Ephraim Levy in the Jive GTI.
This time around for results of race number 2, 2nd place, not bad. You were in a really big mix of cars out there.
Yeah, we were. You know, look, I mean, our car's not quick enough today. It's quite simple, but you know, I knew that the second heat was probably going to be our best chance of winning a race today. So we bolted a new set of tyres on and didn't give it a full go. Tried to get through the traffic, and you know, it sort of worked. But yeah, you know, we're struggling with our car at the moment. It just changes too often. You know, we have a setup and you know, we're chasing a lot, you know, so we're working with small things and we're sort of in and out the window quite often, which we don't need to be. So, yeah, we'll see what happens for the 3rd race. I think today's been one of those days we've just got to bank points.
What did it feel like to do the debut out there today?
Well, it's great. I mean, the day belongs to Mini, so it's nice to come here and finish the event, first of all, the first 2 races, and exactly what we were predicting, to latch onto the back of the pace, which for its debut, we're more than happy with that, and I think with the work to come, the rest of the guys really are going to have to up their game. We're coming for them.
2 sprint races done now, Steve, and it's 1 for 1. 1 for Famato and 1 for Nathan.
So the boys busy going about their business as we lead up to what will be a very, very good and epic 3rd race. Michael Van Rooyen and, of course, their gang looking for more from it. Mrs. Van Rooyen on the phone. Bring miracles, she says.
Nathan's very happy with his performance so far, and so should he be, with a massive amount of championship points ahead of Famato now, going into the double points and feature race. Famato and Germany, it's all up to you guys, but watch out for Bonafide.
Thompson and Cronier wanting to do better, but they've put it down to just building the car and letting it talk in the weeks to come.
Minis are back, and it's the Mini John Cooper Works race day, and we caught up with Gavin Cronier to find out what the plans are for the Minis.
Hi, I'm Gavin Cronier. I'm here with the ADF Mini Castrol team. The Mini is a new introduction to Class T. I think it's going to be an exciting brand. It is an exciting brand, and I think that the crowds are going to love us. Production Class T has got a number of big names in it. I'm quite new to the series. I don't want to mention too many of their names because I'm here to take them off their pedestal. I think Gary Famato and Graham Nathan for sure are the guys to aim for. Gennaro Bonafide, up and coming. And then, of course, my teammate Lee Thompson. I think we, between myself and Lee, we've got a strong team. I think we've got a good base to work from with the Mini. and I think they better look out. Sponsor-wise, we've got a lot of support this year. To mention some, Mini, Castrol, Krapovic. We've got a lot of support this year, and we're looking forward to going out and delivering some results for all of them. I'm back in South Africa racing, and I think the class is going to be an exciting adventure this year for me to understand and learn production cars again. And I'm looking forward to the challenge with Mini and Castrol. This is world-class racing with the Bridgestone Production Car Series.
On pole position, once again, Graham Nathan and the Indy Oil GTI 6. Alongside him is going to be a very, very hungry man in the Williams Hunt Opel OPC. That's Michael van Rooyen.
Looks like Nathan and Henny Groenewald will be having something to celebrate, hopefully, a little bit later on.
Sean Dooney, he's always happy to be in the race car, and I think he's going to push hard to try and get through. Watch out for the minis, though. I think they might just have something up their sleeves for this final race.
Well, before we go to Durban, of course, right now we've got to take care of business. Although they have the Stig, we've got the Stiglet.
14 laps of action coming your way now for the final race of the day. Double the points up for grabs. As they cross the line, it's Nathan who gets the drop. Michael van Rooyen goes onto his inside, and around the outside comes Gary Formato. This is kind of what we wanted to see. The top 3 drivers, 3 manufacturers. If we can get a Mini up top there as well. And remember, there's a Renault coming very shortly too. So we're going to have 5 manufacturers all battling for Class T honours.
Yeah, the rest of the manufacturers, I would say, conspicuous by their absence.
Soon going to be there too. I think there's a possibility of those cars just coming through thick and fast. But speaking of thick and fast, here comes Germany. He's on the back end and looking dangerous, and goes on the inside of Michael van Rooyen real early on. And Van Rooyen just closes the door. Not going to let him through just yet. But remember, the last time we came out of Zwartkops, he lost the wheel going through that corner. So he'll be a bit concerned about it and hanging on to the outside big time.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't at one stage that Ford ST Focus was sponsored by Nando's?
Yeah, hot, bud. Hot chicken wings out there.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, he was a great wingman.
Oh, you're very good. I like your style. I like where you went there. But Gavin Cronier, look at this. This is a resurgence here from the minis. He hasn't been that high up just yet, and Gennaro Bonafide then demotes him down 1. So it's all about Gavin Cronier, Bonafide, and Jacques Joubert in the GTI 5. But at the front end, it's all about the GTI 6, and it's the Indy Oil-sponsored machine out there with Graham Nathan, who leads them going into turn 1.
Crowds are loving this at the moment at Zwartkops round number 4. Michael van Rooyen looking a little better. He's done nothing the whole day, but yet he set the second quickest to be on the front row for this final race.
He's looking dangerous, but more importantly, check out the danger coming from behind. It's Gary Formato and Gennaro Bonafide almost side by side through speed and sound sweep. Watch Formato keep the inside line and force the GTI to have to go onto the high side of the circuit. Now they come through Castrol Edge, and it's a Castrol Ford Focus that is leading out that Ferraro GTI 6 of Bonafide, and he's all over the back of Formato like a fat kid on a cupcake, dude.
Who? Bonafide? Man, they call him Linguini at varsity.
Yeah, he is kind of a skinny dude. That's kind of where the irony stays here. But irony stays off the track when it's this close in terms of racing. He's trying to go around the outside. Formato and him coming together slightly there through Kenwood. And now into Executive gets through. Brilliant driving from Bonafide.
So that's going to give him a bit of confidence right now, and all he has to worry about is the next 3 cars in front of him.
Yeah, Gary Formato, he wasn't quite happy with that, but he's now going to try and make up that ground and find a way back past the Ferraro GTI 6 there of Gennaro Bonafide. But we know that Formato has got something special, and the kind of pace we saw in race number 2 when he took his victory, here it comes again.
All that hard work just to get 4th.
And up the inside, changing up with the minis. Lee Thompson giving his teammate a little bit of a run for his money out of Renexcon. And Jacques Joubert sitting comfortably behind them going, what if you make a mistake? And I'm bringing this Indy Oil GTI 5 through.
Well, if we have one more Mini, it will be Mini-Me.
Oh, yes, it would, hey. So GTIs and Minis at the back end. It's GTIs, Opels, and Fords at the front end. But phenomenal racing in Class T nonetheless. And looking forward as they go up to the top of the hill to see what's going to happen. Has Germany got what it takes to keep out Michael van Rooyen? And are we going to see Gary Formato trying to get up through the field? He's timing it to perfection, is usually pretty good here. And let's see if he's able to find it now as they come out of Kenwood Corner.
Now, I've been listening to those Fords, and they're having a little bit of a difficulty.
Oh, Gennaro's got a problem.
Around the outside. Who's that?
Gennaro Bonafide with a problem.
He's going in.
Oh, look at him. He's smacking the steering wheel as he goes in. There's a problem on his GTI 6. and that's the end of the race day for him.
It was looking so good. So let's get into 5 to 14, and this race continues right now, but Bonafide is out of the mix, and that's going to make Michael van Rooyen a little happier. Maybe there's a podium place in the making here.
Not if Vermaer's got anything to do about it. He sneaks up the inside, but I was going to say, it looked like Van Rooyen was battling a little bit with those Bridgestones. They started to slip and slide coming out of Sassel Corner, and he's now been demoted down one. Could it be two? As Thompson gets up the inside. Lee Thompson and Van Rooyen side by side out of Goldwagen Challenge. Brilliant stuff there.
Gee, just back off a little bit, Cronje. Back up. It was Cronje, wasn't it? Wow, where did that come from? No, there was no space going into turn number 8.
So, Michael van Rooyen demoted down one, managed to keep out Thompson. Cronje tried to sneak through two, just not able to make it stick. Here comes van Rooyen back at Vermato. Vermato looks up the road, he can see his teammate. Now, they'll play the team game, there's no doubt about it. If he catches Duminy should let him through because he knows there is a championship up here for grabs. But these guys don't know anything about that championship. They're just battling for race day honors, dude.
Yeah, we got a GTI 5 in the mix of those two minis, and I'll tell you what, he'll squeeze them out. And that's the young Jack Jabert we were talking about riding around in that championship car, which is an ex-Nathan car.
Yeah, the Stiglet, as we like to call him, as he heads up onto the top of the hill. He's now got Thompson, who's got ahead of Michael van Rooyen. Looks like Jabert might be able to sneak around the outside here, and Cronje's going to go with him. Michael van Rooyen's day is turning from good to bad, and the OPC is just falling by the wayside. Oh, there's a problem on the Williams Hunt car.
Yeah, no, he'll bring that car in, there's no doubt. He's just going backwards in a big way. What another tragic day for Team OPC.
Yeah, the Williams Hunt boys will definitely be working on that car by the time they get into the street race in Durban in the end of this week. Man, this is superb stuff, and Michael van Rooyen is going to be frustrated big time.
Well, we're on board right now, but I guarantee you that there's no smiles there in that cockpit. Right now, our attention back to the Fords right now. Duminy, and as you said a little earlier on, he allowed Vermato to get past him in one of the previous races very easy. He'll know the point standing, and look at that, how easy was that. Yeah, I tell you, he did it again.
Very early braking to allow his teammate through, but he knows that this is a team game. He wants a championship to go to the Blue Oval boys, and that's why he's allowing his teammate, who is higher up in this championship, to get through and to go hunting for the man who leads out. But are they going to catch that car who's already turned out of her next corner? I don't think so.
Well, you were 100% right, because, I mean, that's the thing that motivates this team as well. It's all about the team game. And, yeah, we know Gary Vermato is the lead principal in the car. Sean Duminy does his bit, and I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind having Sean Duminy in my team.
Yeah, as a team principal and as the driver, too. So he now plays the tail gunner role. He'll keep everybody else behind him and not let anybody catch Gary Vermato. It's final lap time, and it's Kenwood Corner that we see the Indy Oil GTI. And what a fantastic day's racing here for Graham Nathan. Not quite the perfection we saw that came from Class A and Henny Groenewald, but I'm sure he'll take 2 out of 3.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And there's that point we were making with his standard golf as he takes the win. And what an outright day it has been for Graham Nathan and the team from Indy Oil. That is 2 for 2 in the sprints, and the theme piece, double the points. That's a clean sweep, Greg.
Graham Nathan taking the victory. Gary Vermato and Sean Duminy bringing the Cashville Fords to 2 and 3. Lee Thompson just missing the podium on debut. Jacques Jabert in 5th place in the second GTI.
In 6th, Gavin Cronje and the other mini. Michael van Rooyen, well, he had to pull into the pits, and Gennaro Bonafide also problems. Outstanding result for the Indy Oil GTI-backed car, and Graham Nathan in the pound seats again. How important now with this win and the points you got for the championship?
Obviously, ultimately important. Yeah, just a big thank you to Indy Oil and the product that we're running. Sintra doing a great job in the 14-lapper, obviously just keeping the temperatures down superbly. The motor car pumping out unbelievable performance all the time. I don't know what happened there. I just paced myself to try and look after the car, the tires. It did a great job. But with regard to championship, we came here this weekend with the intention of having a really good go at hauling in a couple of extra points. I think we've done that quite successfully today. A great job by everybody involved with my Indy Oil team and Indy Oil themselves. Everybody, I can't thank everybody individually. Good to have so many cars in the field, and let's go to Durban and see how it goes there.
Cannot wait to see what's going to happen on the streets of Durban in a couple of days' time. Graham Nathan leads out by 22 points ahead of Gary Vermato and Sean Duminy a little bit further down. Watch out for Jabert coming through. In terms of the manufacturers, it's still Volkswagen, large and in charge at the top end. Ford, BMW and Audi pushing hard. Subaru, Opel and Mini are back. For more information on the Westbank Super Series, log on to their website, westbanksuperseries.co.za, and tag Facebook and Twitter.
That's a wrap of the Bridgestone production cars, as well as conclusion to round 4 of the West Bank Super Series here at Zwartkops. This weekend, we're down in Durban for the Durban Street Race. See you then.